Good morning students, welcome back to video class. So far you uploaded 4 video classes. In my first video class we discussed important terms from the linear programming problems, and we have discussed what are the different methods you're going to use for solving LPP. Those methods are simplex method, big M method and dual simplex method, and one more method we're going to discuss in this video class is two-phase method. And also in the last previous video classes we have discussed how to convert our linear programming problem into standard format as for the methods like big M method and simplex method. Okay, and also based upon those methods you have solved numericals. In this video class we are going to discuss one more method called two-phase method. Okay, two-phase method. What is two-phase method? Two-phase method is another technique to solve the linear programming problems involving artificial variables. And the name itself is suggesting that it consists of two phases. Okay, in first phase, the first phase is to construct an auxiliary LPP from the given original problem in such a way that the objective function, all the slack and surplus variables have zero coefficients, while the artificial variables have -1 as their coefficient. In other words, the objective function in phase 1 is transformed as follows, while ensuring constants are converted into equation as in standard format. Okay, see, it is also one method mainly used for solving linear programming problems involving artificial variables. Okay, see, in this we have two steps, important steps will be there. In first step, what we are going to do is we are going to construct LPP in such a way that the objective function, which contains all the slack surplus variable along with artificial variables. In this objective function, in the first step or in first phase, what you are going to do is for slack and surplus variable, okay, you are going to give zero coefficients obviously, whereas for artificial variables, okay, you need to give coefficient as -1. Okay, let us see here. Here I have given for examples here. This is my standard format for following to solve the two-phase method. Okay, here maximum z is equal to, this is variables, okay, and here you see here 0s1 0s2, but for here -a1 -a2. Understood? One more time I am going to repeat you. In phase 1 method, the objective function, whether it contains slack surplus along with artificial variable. For slack and surplus variable we need to give coefficient as a 0, but whereas for artificial variable we have to give coefficient as -1. Okay, so this is the first phase. And condition, see, when to move on to the second phase and when to terminate your first phase, that we are going to discuss. We have two cases in that. Suppose maximum z is equal to less than 0 and at least one artificial variable appears in the basic variable list at the solution stage. In such cases LPP doesn't have feasible solution and is terminated at the phase 1. It means that the maximum objective function z is equal to 0, or else at least if you have one artificial variables in artificial variable column, basic variable column, if it is artificial variable is appeared, even though my z equation contains all positive values, then at that time my LPP solution is infeasible. Nothing but it doesn't have feasible solution. Nothing but the phase 1 is terminated. Then when to switch on to the phase 2 now? The phase 2 is going to be switched on when maximum z is equal to 0. Nothing but all the my z equations are equal to 0. And no artificial variable appears among the basic variable at the solution stage. Nothing but in my basic variable column, it doesn't have artificial variables like a1, a2. Understood? Except all the artificial variables. If any other variables is situated, then the solution is feasible. Then you can switch on to the next phase. See, these are the two conditions we need to follow. Suppose in a basic variable column, if artificial variable is present, then we need to stop it there, and it is called infeasible solution. Nothing but it doesn't have any feasible solution. Suppose in my basic variable column, if doesn't have any artificial variable, then it is a feasible solution. Then you go into the second phase. Okay, see here phase 2. What phase 2 will going to tells about. In phase 2, to begin with, a new objective function is written by taking the original problem in the maximization form. Okay, now once there is no any artificial variables present at the basic variable column, then switch on to the phase 2. In phase 2, you need to create new objective function by taking original problem in the maximization form. Okay, the problem, whatever the maximization problem they have given, same you need to copy now. In this objective function, all the slack and surplus variables including artificial variables are assigned as zero coefficients. See here, in the first phase, what we have done for slack and surplus variables, we have given 0 coefficients, whereas for artificial variables we have given -1 coefficient. But in phase 2, what we are going to do is all the slack, surplus including your artificial variables are assigned as 0 coefficients. Understood? That will be retained their original coefficients. And next step, to continue phase 2, a new simplex table is constructed where artificial variables are ignored altogether. Understood? In phase 2, what you have to do is you have to create simplex table. What you have to discuss in the last previous video classes, there is no artificial variables. If there artificial variables are there, in phase 2 you are going to ignore all those things. The initial table for phase 2 would be exactly as the last table that appeared at the solution stage, and we need to copy as same as in the phase 2 final solution. You got a same thing you need to copy, except that artificial variables will need to be ignored. Okay, understood? Last appeared at the solution stage with all the values intact except for the presence of new CBO and CO elements. Okay, here we need to take as for the original problem they have given. Here the value should be taken from the original problem. Okay, and now simplex method is applicable to arrive the solution stage and get an optimal solution. Understood? See, once again I am going to repeat the two phases that will be needed for solving the problem. In the first step, you need to construct an auxiliary LPP from the given original problem in such a way that what you have to do is, for slack and surplus variable, for all that you need to give 0 for everything you need to give. For maximum z is equal to objective function, for everything you need to give 0 except for artificial variable, that is -1 you need to give for that. Okay, for example, you are given for everything you are taken 0 except for artificial variables you are given -1 coefficients. Okay, and for say when the LPP in the format showing about the solved using standard simplex procedure, you may get two arrays. While doing this, you are going to get two conditions for that, whether we need to go for phase 2 condition, phase 2 method, or you need to terminate here itself. So whenever the solution phase is reached, there in this basic variable column, if the artificial variable present, then the solution is called infeasible solution. Then there itself we need to terminate. Suppose if the in basic variable column, if the artificial variable is not present, then the solution is called feasible solution, and then we need to proceed for further phase, that is phase 2. In phase 2, what you have to do, same similar to maximize problem, you take coefficient as for the given that, and we need to give 0 for all the variables, nothing but slack, surplus and artificial variables. And the final table what is reached in the phase 1, that you need to copy and put the values of CBO and CO elements from the original problem they have given, and as for that you need to proceed with simplex method procedure. Okay, just look into the problem now. Solve the following LPP using two-phase method. Okay, they are given maximum z is equal to -4x1 -3x2 -9x3, and which is subjected to two constants. They are given 2x1 plus 4x2 plus 6x3 greater than equal to 15, and second constant is 6x1 plus x2 plus 6x3 greater than equal to 12, and all the variables x1 x2 x3 greater than equal to 0. Okay, let us solve this problem using two-phase method now. In two-phase method, you will going to follow first phase. In the first phase, what you have to do, for objective function will be written for all the variables will be 0 except for artificial variables, it will be considered as coefficient as -1. For remaining all the variables, it will be 0. Now, before that, you need to convert your inequality into equation sign now. See, since whenever you have a sign greater than equal to, we need to apply here surplus variable along with artificial variable. Understood? First problem, see first constant here, 2x1 plus 4x2 plus 6x3 minus s1 plus a1 equal to 15, that is a1 called artificial variable pertaining to constant 1. Similarly for 6x1 plus x2 plus 6x3 minus s2 plus a2 is equal to 12. That is a2 is nothing but it is a artificial variable pertaining to constant 2. Will all the variables x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, a1, a2 all are greater than equal to 0. Okay, I told why you need to put artificial variables to the left hand side of the constraint. Suppose if all the x1, x2, x3 variables are 0, then then variable have s or something will going to get negative. I should not get negative values for variables. So in order to avoid that, you're going to put one more variable called that is artificial variable, that already I have discussed in BGM method. Okay, now here for here maximum z is equal, this is the first phase that is going to tell us about 0 for everything, 0 x1 minus 0 x2 minus 0 x3 plus 0 s1 plus 0 s2 minus 1 a1 minus 1 a2. In first phase, for all the variables we need to give 0 along with slack variables, surplus variables. Only you need to give coefficient minus 1 for artificial variables. That's what you have done here. Next, as for that, you need to create again, you need to create standard table for that. Okay, CO, what is that? CO, coefficient of objective function. Here for all the objective variables for the objective function is 0 except your artificial variables, that coefficient will be minus 1 and minus 1. Basic variables, understood? Here basic variables you need to take is here a1 and a2 you need to take here. Okay, understood? Suppose you have only one a1, nothing but one constraint here. Suppose if both are greater than equal to sign, if it is less than equal to sign, you're going to get here plus s1 il. Then we need to take here artificial variables will be doesn't come into picture there. Suppose if you have a one less than, if the constant having less than equal to sign, suppose, understood, there you are going to get only one a1. At the time you need to take slack variable for that. For example, you have here, suppose if in this equation you have a less than equal to 15, there you are going to get only s1 variable, that is slack variable. While taking your basic variable here, you need to take only a1 and s1 here. Since I have both here artificial variables, that's why I have taken here both are artificial variables. And whose coefficient here? C suffix b1 is the coefficient of basic variable in objective function is minus 1 and minus 1. And I am going to return all the basic variables here, x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, a1, a2. And this is RHS, nothing but is a constant value, that is RHS left hand side of right hand side of the constant and ratio. This is, let us look into this one. Now this, what are the variables from the constant here? These are the 2, 4, 6. See here, 2, 4, 6 minus 1, 1 here. This is what here. See a third row representing here the quotient from the first constant here, 2, 4, 6 minus 1, 0, 1, 0. And similarly for second constant, these are the coefficient 6, 1, 6 minus 1, sorry, 0, minus 1 and 1. See that's what your 6, 1, 6, 0 minus 1, 0, 1, and the RHS values will be, these are the RHS value 15 and 12. We are represented at this RHS column 15 and 12. Okay, now you need to calculate Z equation. This is the representation you have done already, we are familiar for this. Now you go for Z equation. What is Z equation? Summation of CB1, nothing but quotient of basic variable in the objective function with respect to xi columns minus of quotient of objective function. Now see here, now we start with first one minus 1 into 2 plus minus 1 into 6. Okay, minus of 0. If you do it, you're going to get minus 8. Similarly with this column with, now this column x2 column with CBO column, minus 1 into 4 minus 4 plus minus 1 into 1, it will become minus 4 minus 1, it will be minus 5, and there is no objective function, coefficient of objective function. Similarly if you do it, minus 1 into 6 minus 6 plus minus 1 into 6, it will become minus 6 and minus 6 minus 12. Similarly minus into minus 1, minus 1 into minus 1 plus 1, and it will be 0. We are going to get plus 1 here. And for this one, minus 1 into 0, anything 0, minus 1 into 1 plus 1. Similarly minus 1 into 1 minus 1, and it will be 0, and minus of minus 1. If you do subtract, you are going to get 0 for this. And similarly here, minus 1 into 0, 0, and minus 1 into minus 1, it minus 1, minus of minus 1 will become plus 1, and if you are going to get 0 for this. Understood? Now similarly, already you are familiar for this. Once you have calculated Z equation, okay, among Z equation is going to be helpful for selecting your key column. So here, if Z equation here, if anything with positive values, we need to stop here. Since our Z equation here, some of the variables contain negative values, we need to further go for precision. Okay, how to calculate now, how to find out your key column and key rows now. Already you are familiar. In Z equation, if you are having a maximum value with negative sign, that will be, you need to take that column is called what? Key column. It's here, that is the maximum value you taken. Here x3 is called as a key column, that is, it is also called as entering variable. And how to calculate my key row now? For key row, here what you have to do is, in my key column, here for third row and fourth row, first row, second row, third row, fourth row. In this third row, my key column is 6. Similarly, for fourth row, my key column element is 6. These two will going to be used for getting your your ratio. Okay, this ratio is going to decide, this column is going to decide which is your key row for that. For getting that, you need, what you have to do is, this RHS value divided by this element you need to divide now. Similarly, first same RHS value with respect to this key column elements. If you do it, you're going to 2.5 and 2. And in order to get your key row, that will be decided by your RHS column, and in that you need to take the least positive value. You need to take here, least positive value is this A2 row. Now this row is called now key row, and this is called leaving row or leaving variable, I can say. Understood? This is called leaving variable, and this is called entering variable. And intersection point, the intersection of key column and key row is called as key element. My key element is now 6 here. Understood? In the next table, what you have to do is, now you have to, A2 will going to be replaced by your x3. Understood? See here, x3 will be replaced here, and whose coefficient will be, again will be 0 now. Understood? And how to calculate my A2 row now? Understood? A2 row, how you have calculated A2 row? Nothing but x3 here. Now once you have replaced by your x3, and whose coefficient value will be 0 in the objective function represented. Now how I got x3 and A1 row now? Already you are familiar. That is, for x3 row are obtained by old equation element. My old equation element is, first one is what? 6 is there, and divided by key element. My key element is what now? 6 here. 6 divided by 6, if you are going to get 1. Similarly, 1 divided by 6, it will be 1 by 6. 6 divided by 6 equal to 1. 0 by anything 0, and minus 1 divided by 6, 6, minus 1 by 6, and 0, 0 by anything 0, and 1 by 6 equal to 1 by 6. Similarly, 12 divided by 6, if you do it, to get RHS value 2. See, this is how you are going to get your x3 new values. And how to get my A1 row values now? For this, we have a formula. My A1 row values are obtained by formula called old element minus its corresponding entering columns coefficient into corresponding new Poet equation. So here, how to calculate my A1 row? Here, old element value we need to take here, and its corresponding key column coefficient is always, for this entire row it is 6 here, and entering here new Poet equation. Just what is that new Poet equation elements? See, what are just now you found out your x3 values will be there. No, x3 row values will be new Poet equation elements. Let us see. Just I have shown an example here. My here old equation element is for A1 row is 2. Its corresponding key column coefficient is entering is 6, and here for x1, see here for x1 row new element is here, entering element is 1 here. If you do it, 2 minus 6 is common for all the, see here, for all the elements for the entire row, key column element is 6, and entering one is 1. If you do it, you're going to get minus 4. That's what I have written here. See, that's what I have written, minus 4. Similarly, here second element is 4, minus of 6, and entering element here is 1 by 6. See, 1 by 6. If you do it, you're going to get 3. Similarly, my Next element is 6. Its minus of its entering coefficient of key column is 6, and here and new element is 1 here. Bottom under x3 row and x3 row under x3 column it will be 1. If you do it, you are going to get 0 for this. Similarly, if you do go for next minus 1, minus of 6 into it will be 0. If you do it, you are going to get again minus 1. Similarly, for fifth one, 0 and minus of 6, and if you go to 1, if you're going to get, you're going to get again 6, nothing but if you do it 0 minus 6 into minus 1 by 6, you're going to get minus 1 into 0 plus 1. Okay, similarly 1, okay, corresponding key column element to minus of 1 minus 6, and its corresponding here will be 0. New entering variable will be 0. If you're going to get 1, like that you need to calculate for all the new variables for a1 row by using this formula. If you solve this, you're going to get minus 4 3 0 minus 1 1 1 minus 1. Similarly for RHS value, if you do it, you're going to get 3 for this also. Understood? This is, you got 3 values. Okay, now once you got the x3 row values, new values, similarly for a1 new row values, again you go for same procedure here, go for z equation here. Okay, you need to calculate for z equation here. If you do z equation here, again see here minus 1 into minus 4, this column with respect to all the x variables up to a2 row you need to calculate. Up to this will be common, and the entire column is going to be multiplied with respect to this. Minus 1 into minus 4, it will be 4, and anything will be 0, nothing but nothing will be there. Again minus 1 into 3 3, 0 minus 3, again minus 1 into 0 0 0 0 0, minus 1 into minus 1 plus 1, nothing will be there again. Again minus 1 into 1 minus 1, and 0 into 0, and minus will be minus of minus 1. Again minus 1 into 1, okay, 0 0. Next minus 1 into 1 minus 1, okay, and it will be 0 into 0, and here it's CO nothing but minus 1 here. Minus 1 minus of minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 will be 0 again, and here minus into minus 1 plus 1, and 0 into minus anything 0, and here minus of minus, it will become 2 now. Again you search check for that whether all the variables in the equation is positive values are equal to 0. Again you have a negative here. Again I need to go for procedure again. Okay, and you need to select here key column now. Again key column is what now? The maximum value with respect to negative you need to select again. See here, again you are taking here, this is my key column. Again for getting key row now. For key row, how to calculate? Just now I told, take the RHS column divided by the elements with respect to key column. Here x2 is my key column or entering variable now. Okay, with respect to this row, my key column element is 3. With respect to this, my key column is 1 by 6. 3 divided by 3, if you do it, equal to 1, and 2 divided by 1 by 6, you are going to get 12. And least positive value among this one is what? 1. This row is now living variable or key row now. And intersection of these two is key element, that is 3 is key element now. Okay, now same procedure we need to follow now. Okay, for this a1 row, nothing but here a1 will be replaced by x2 now. X2 whose coefficient variable in the objective function is 0 0. Okay, now how to calculate now? Just for a1 row, again a1 row I told old element equation, nothing but key element now. See here x2 row, old element is minus 4 and key element is what? 3. Nothing but will become minus 4 by 3, and 3 by 3 it will be 1. Again 0 by 3 0, minus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3, 1 divided by 3 1 by 3 1 by 3. Similarly minus 1 divided by 3 minus 1 by 3, 3 by 3 1 now. Similarly calculate for x3 row. How to calculate x3 row? I told again the formula will be old element minus of its corresponding key column element into new element from the pivot equation. Here new element is what now? My new element will be now here. This is my new element now. Okay, now how to calculate the x3 row? X3 row, old value is now, see here, this is the formula how to get old value minus of corresponding key column coefficient. This 1 by 6 is common for all the variables now. Old value minus of 1 by 6, and entering new variable from the pivot equation is minus 4 by 3. Minus 4 by, if you're going to get, you're going to get 11 by 9 by 11. Understood? Like that you need to calculate for all the x3 row elements now using this formula. Okay, see this is how I got all the variables now in the x3 row also. X3 row also I got it, all the values. Okay, now you observe z equation now. Okay, how to get z equation I told, that is summation of CBO into xi columns, nothing but all the columns minus of CO, nothing but quotient objective function. 0 into 0, 0 into anything 0, 0 into anything 0, it will be 0. Similarly 0 into this x2 column, anything will be 0, 0, 0, 0. Again for go for this 0 into x3 column 0, 0 into anything 0, 0. Again here 0 into anything 0, 0, 0, anything 0. But when it comes this here 0 into 0, 0 and minus of minus plus 1, similar here plus 1 now we got. In my z equation all the variables are equal to 0 are positive values. Okay, now just here observe. In first case here, in basic variable here, if I got any artificial variables are there? No. If artificial variable present, this will be terminated. You stop it here. It is called infeasible solution. Since in my basic variable column I don't have any artificial variable, this is called feasible solution. Then you go for next phase, that is phase 2. That is phase 2. Okay. So here my solution is that reached. Since there are no negative elements in the equation, also there are no artificial variables present in this equation, then you can switch it on to phase 2. In phase 2, initial table is constructed with basic variable x2, x3 as was present at the stage of phase 1. This is the table you need to concentrate now for construction of phase 2 now. And whereas this objective functions will be taken as from maximization function problem, original problem, like this. This is the from this values you need to, as it is you need to write down now coefficient variables. Okay, now ignoring all the artificial variables, understood, assigning 0 constant for s1 s2 s3 and taking original coefficient of x1 x2 as given in the original problem in maximization form on CO, BO and CO. Okay, now we need to assign, see here in the, you have to take original table, nothing but table will be as the last finance table from the phase 1 you need to, as it is you need to take down, and CBO values and CO values you need to copy from the maximization original problem, and you need to terminate all the artificial variables here. See here in this my maximums z is equal to coefficient value. What is the given problem here? -4. See, just you observe here coefficient from the original table. See, original my coefficient value for objective function is -4, -3, -9. See, that's what you have taken here, original. See, original value you have taken here, -4, -3, -9, and here artificial variables will be, see, neglected here. That's what I have taken only S1 and S2 here, surplus variable. Okay, similar to a simplex method, you have not taken artificial variable there also. When the equation is greater than equal to 0, then you have taken only slack your surplus variable you have taken. Same thing you need to take, and whose coefficient will be 0, 0. See, this is what I have taken here. Okay, same similar to simplex method, what I have done, same I have taken. Only I've taken only surplus variable, since my inequality signs are greater than equal to sign. That's what I have taken. No artificial is included here. Okay, next, similarly you create the table now. This table is as it is from the final table from the phase 1. Okay, but here coefficient will be changes now. Coefficient is -4, 3, -9, 0, 0. See, similarly here -3, -4, -3, -9, 0, 0. CB value will be, see here, exactly from original last table here. Yes, here x2, x3 variables here. x2, x3 variable I have copied, but here CBO will be changes. CBO whose coefficient is what? -3 and -4 I have taken. -3 and, see here, -3 here, x2 and x3 is -9. Okay, that you need to change now. And similarly these values will be as it is from the last final table from the phase 1 now. Yeah, remaining is as it is now. Okay, from this you need to proceed now. Okay, see here, when you are going proceeding with phase 2, you take final table from the phase 1, but where your artificial will be ignored. And one more thing, the coefficients of C1 CB will be as it is, you copy from the main objective function given problem. Okay, now if you go for, now if you do it now, calculate my z equation now. Okay, what is my z equation? CBO into column into first xi column, -3 into -4 by 3 plus -9 into 11 by 9 minus of -4. If you go it, we will going to put -3. Similarly, -3 into 1 plus -9 into 0 and minus of -3 it will become 0. 3 into anything 0 0, minus 9 into 1 and minus of minus 9 it will be 0. Again minus 3 into minus 1 by 3 plus minus 9 into 1 by 18 if you do it 1 by 2. Similarly minus 1 into 1 by 3 plus minus 9 into minus 2 by 9 minus of 0 if you do it 1. Okay, these are my Z equation. Again in my Z equation, again since the values are positive, if you search for positive values, no one negative value will be there. That negative value itself is becomes, now that column will become x1 column become key column now. And how to calculate key row now? Key row, these elements will be divided with respect to RHS value. Nothing, 1 divided by minus 4 by 3 if you do it, it will become minus 3 by 4, and 11 by 6 divided by 11 by 9 if you get 9 by 6. Nothing but it is a positive value now. Okay, this become key row now. And now what will happen? This x3 will be replaced by x1 now. This is called key column, this is key row, nothing but entering variable, this is leaving variable now. In the next table, what you have to do is, here my x1 will be there, here x3 will be gone now, x2 coefficient will be minus 3 as it is. For x1 coefficient in the objective function is minus 4. Understood? And x1 row will be calculated as your old element with respect to key column. Okay, my old values are now for here key element will be now minus 11 by 9, and my old value is 11 by 9. First 11 by 9, 11 by 9, see here, if you do it you are going to get 1. Similarly 0 by 11 by 9, 0, and 1 by 11 by 9 by 11, and 1 by 18 divided by 11 by 9 if you get 1 by 22, minus 2 by 9 divided by 11 by 9 if you get minus 2 by 11. For x1 you got it. Similarly for x2 row, how to calculate x2 row? You have a formula, that is old element minus corresponding key column element into new pivot equation element. Here your new element is what? New pivot equation element, nothing but x1 row values. Similarly I have taken here old one is minus 4 by 3. Okay, minus 4 by 3 into 1, 0, and these are the old elements, these are the corresponding key column. See here, this is the old value, corresponding key column is minus 1 by 3. Okay, and entering your new equation elements, nothing but your x1 row, nothing but new pivot equation elements. If you do it, you are going to get the values 0, 1, 2 by 11, minus 3 by 11, and 1 by 11. Similar RHS value 3 now. Understood? See here, once you all the values you got it, my Z equation, just to observe, all the variables are positive or equal, greater than equal to 0. Now the solution phase is reached now, and corresponding values you need to take from the RHS column. For x2 it is 3 and x1 it is 3 by 2. That will going to be substituted in the objective function now. That's what, since all the my above equation Z equation all the positive, solution phase is reached, and x1 will be 3 by 2 and x2 will be 3. You substitute in the Z equation, will become Z equal to minus 15. Okay, this is my feasible solution condition, or maximum Z is equal to minus 15. See, this is how we need to calculate whenever the problem is given with respect to two-phase method. Okay, in two-phase method, one thing I will going to recall, we have two phases will be there. Okay, in first phase what you have to do is, for objective function, for all the variables, whether it may be given or all the variables including slack and surface variable, you need to give 0 as a coefficient, whereas for artificial variable you need to give coefficient as a minus 1. Understood? Then we need to solve the problem. Okay, suppose in the phase 1, if the objective function, in the phase 1 the solution is reached, there just to look at their basic variable column. In basic variable column, if anything is artificial is present, then it will become infeasible solution, and we cannot go for phase 2 condition. And if the basic variable column there is no any artificial variable is present, then you shift into phase 2. In phase 2, when you switch to phase 2, just original table will be copied, whereas in Z objective function, here we need to take coefficient as a original objective function in the given in the problem, and all the artificial variables will be terminated. And similarly, what you have done in simplex method, there is no artificial is included in the constant, like that you need to build up. And whereas C1, the quotient of objective function, will be copied from the given problem, and CBO, quotient of basic variable, also copied from the main given problem. And similarly, remaining values you need to copy from the final table from the phase 1, and you need to proceed until you need to get the Z equation as no negative values. Until that you need to calculate, and corresponding basic variables will be taken as RHS column, and you need to substitute in the objective function, and that will give your value for the objective function as the maximum is equal to, here we got Z equal to minus 15. See, this is how you need to calculate your two-phase equation method. And also in the next video class we are going to solve one more problem with respect to this, and one more problem from big M method. Okay, thank you.